Draw an energy level diagram, including labelled axes, for an exothermic reaction, and use it to explain why a reaction is exothermic. 4 marks for that. Also label the activation energy, 1 mark. Right, okay, so an energy level diagram is a graph, so we need some axes, and we draw those with a ruler. And we need to label the axes, that'll be your first mark. So, the bottom axis, a bit of a strange label, reaction path. What that means is we have reactants over here on the left, just like in an equation, and products over here on the right. This is an energy level diagram, so this axis on the y-axis here is energy. Okay, so exothermic reactions. Exothermic reactions give out energy, give out heat energy. So let's write that straight away down here. Exothermic reactions give out heat energy. So the reactants, therefore, have got to have energy stored in them if they're going to give out energy. So the reactant energy level is going to be quite high up this energy axis, and the product energy level has to be lower because energy is going to be given out. Okay, in any reaction, bonds are firstly broken and then new bonds are made. Now, bond breaking takes energy. You have to put energy in to break bonds. So these are our reactants, and the first thing we've got to do is break bonds, and we've got to put energy in to do that. So energy in this system is going to rise. So we need to start rising like that. Now that there is the bond breaking stage of this reaction. It doesn't take very much energy to break the bonds in an exothermic reaction. So in any reaction, bonds are firstly broken and new bonds are made. In an exothermic reaction, a small amount of energy is needed to break bonds. Okay, after we've broken all the bonds, all the atoms on their own, they don't stay like that. They have to join up, and they join up with different atoms. So new bonds are made. Now, in an exothermic reaction, lots more energy is given out when new bonds are made. So this stage of the reaction here is bond making, and that gives out energy. In an exothermic reaction, a small amount of energy is needed to break bonds, and lots of energy is given out when new bonds are made. Last thing we need to do is label the activation energy. The activation energy is the energy needed to start the reaction, to activate the reaction. So in other words, that's going to be equal to the bond making energy. So to get this exactly there, let's just dot that across there from the reactant level, and it's going to be the amount of energy that is needed to break all those bonds to get us to the top of that hill, if you like. That is the activation energy, and it's always equal to the energy needed to break bonds. On the previous page, we did an endothermic reaction, so we can put the activation energy on there as well if we wanted to. It's bond breaking, so it's going to be the energy from the reactant level to the top of the curve, the energy needed to break bonds. That there would be the activation energy. Okay, all these questions on elshamhighchemistry.com.